We're indoctrinated to believe all this bull. Save your money, pay off your house, all that shit benefits Wall Street. It doesn't benefit you and your family. We're not encouraged to take risk. Don't save money, invest it. Buy real estate that appreciates over a 10-year period. Stay broke. Do not keep money at your bank. And then people start saving money, planning on emergencies that typically never happen. What I would tell people to do is stay broke. That's what I do. So I had $50 million worth of debt then in 2012 and a couple $1 million worth of assets. Today I have $2 billion worth of debt and $4 billion worth of assets because I quit saving money. I started trusting, build my business, number one. First of all, take care of me. Two, take care of my businesses.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them for me, because I want to wake up every day and watch a video that puts me in a mindset to believe in myself more and go off and accomplish amazing things and attack the day. And I hope that this video does that for you as well. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Grant Cardone, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is be tough on yourself.
They asked me a question today that I want to talk about. They're like, dude, how are you? Everybody we talk to talks about being nice to their people, taking care of their people, doing this for their people. Why is it the answer you have is different? I said, what do you mean? Well, it seems like you're hard on people. I said, no, man, I'm not being hard on people. I'm just trying to take care of my environment. I'm not trying, I don't practice being a DIK. I'm trying to take care of my environment. My decisions are about my environment, right? So little Grant's this little phone right here. This is little Grant. He got issues. He needs to clean up his issues. Grant's got to get hard on Grant. Okay, you guys out there, y'all so soft on your people, it's because you're soft on yourself. Right? That's why you end up with no money. You end up with people betraying you. You end up with people taking advantage of you. Even your kids don't appreciate you. You got to be hard on yourself. I'm hard on everybody around me, but mostly I'm hard on me.
Rule number 3 is stop making excuses.
Can you listen to the excuses of your employees and salespeople? I have 100 salespeople in one city, and I'm just losing my patience.
Yeah.
To
they would never talk around me with it. I mean,
The
the environment wouldn't allow it.
No.
There's no way anybody would be like, I'm late because of the traffic. They know they're going to get punched in the face.
I didn't make appointments.
Because there's no way. Like we have a culture. We have 92 employees or something in our office.
Last time we spoke, you had 60.
Yeah, no, we could.
You're growing.
We could use 200. We could use 200 right now. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think we would ever hear that, would we, Jared? I didn't hit my numbers because?
Most no.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not tolerated. Like, it's not, we don't even talk about don't use excuses. Mm-hmm. It's just the environment.
The culture.
Because they don't hear me making excuses.
So,
like, if I miss a deal, we do a lot of real estate deals. So if I miss a deal, I'm always going to, what did I do wrong in that deal? First response for me is, what did I do wrong in that deal that they didn't pick me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What did I do wrong that I didn't get that deal? What did we do wrong that we didn't hit our number there? Like, I'm never saying...
It's not blaming somebody.
Well, I don't have control when I blame. I want control. So even if they are to blame, right? I want control. I'm not going to assign you blame. If you hit my car, I'm gonna say, what did I do wrong? What did I do that allowed you to hit my car? I did something. So even in the most dumb, like I ended up in a lawsuit where a guy basically found something, sued me for it. I didn't do anything to this dude. My immediate response was, what did I do to create that frivolous situation? He was a criminal, total criminal, sued me for $60 million. He just sued me because he thought he could get something from it. Yeah. But I did something. And the reason I want to assume that I want to be the cause point is because if I assume that position, even though I didn't really do anything, then I can control what I did. I can't control what another person does, but I can spend time and energy controlling what I do. So if me and Elena get in an argument, you know, when I'm rational, I'm like, hey, what did I do? Did I not pay enough attention? What did I do to cause that situation? Did I respond in a wrong fashion? And I screw up all the time.
Rule number 4 is have confidence.
You got to keep your eye on the ball. What is the target for you and your company while everybody else gets distracted? What's the target? Go get the target. In 2010, when I got hammered, I'm like, this is never going to happen to me again. I am going to be a big player. They don't jack with big players. They jack with everybody else. They leave big guys alone. I'm not a big guy yet, but I can get there. I know I can get there. You can't get there if you keep thinking small. You can pay off your cars and you can pay off your house and your bicycles and your kids are going to get a good education. But trust me, you guys are still going to be worried when you retire. Okay. We have been indoctrinated to feed the beast. I wrote about this in the 10X rule. Feed the beast, not their beast, your beast. And so what I do is I go hustle, Brad. I go hustle the marketplace for money. You guys see me hustling every day. Hit the link, come to this, go to that, buy this, get this. Every dollar that comes in, I pay my bills, and anything left over, I dump it into a real estate deal and I go hustle again. I'm always broke. I never have any dough on me. If I have dough, I'm trying to get it in a real estate deal where I'm illiquid. Nobody can get the money from me. And I go bounce back into the marketplace, make contact with people, try to get some more money, bury it in a real estate deal, and cross my fingers and hope that 10 years from now, the rents go up on that building.
What do you think the best skills are for a 20-year-old to learn today?
Confidence. You got to have confidence, man. You got to have target attainment. You know, you got to know, hey, this is my target. I'm going to get it. I'm not going home until I get my damn target. So you guys got to be, you got to get like that drug addict. They don't come home without that drug.
Yes.
No money, no credit. Everybody hates their guts. Skanky, 74 pounds, needle tracks, and the guy still scores a bag. Clip that.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is grind it out.
Many people listening that don't know your background, you know, grew up in Lake Charles, right? I think you were one of 5 children. You know, you certainly didn't come from wealth.
100%. Like definitely. I mean, we weren't poor. We weren't poverty, right? I'm not complaining about the way I was brought up, because there's a billion people that came up way worse than I did. We had food. I had love. I had hugs. I had safety. I had direction. I had schools. I had a bike. My mom drove me I could either get on the bus or she'd drive me. Nobody was whipping me or beating me, or, you know, there was not bad stuff happening. And I blew all that. So I had less money when I was 25 than when I was 15. How's that possible? So ended up with a drug problem, bad drug problem between 15 and 25 that I'm not proud of, and that I finally beat. That could have killed me, by the way. Could have just as easily beat me. And from the age of 25 till today, I'm just grinding out, trying to figure out every day, doing something new, man. Like, I don't have it figured out. I know I don't have it figured out, but I'm in a pretty good place to, like, okay, I know some things that are working. And, you know, back to the 10X rule, I double down on that stuff now. I go hard, really hard on a handful of things rather than try to be great at 100 things.
Rule number 6 is increase your income.
Managing money is impossible if you don't increase your income.
How can we increase the income? Like,
first, you make it. You people need to be educated that the most important thing is to increase income.
Okay.
Not manage money. See, this is all people are being told. They're saying reduce your expenses. Mm-hmm. But if I make this much money, if I have this much money come in every month, whatever that number is, and I can only manage it that far, right? Let's say it's 2 inches or 2 meters.
Whatever, yeah.
Right, not 2 meters, 2 what? Millimeters.
Yeah.
Centimeters. What is it?
Centimeters.
Centimeters. I got 2 centimeters of money, right? So I have 2 centimeters of money. We'll take the number out of it, and I want to manage this. This is what most people are taught. Just manage how little you spend. But what you should be doing is figuring out how to increase the income to 3 centimeters. But we're not taught that. We're taught how to manage down rather than increase up. So the first thing people need to be, people just need to be retaught. You need to increase your income. How do I do that? First, you make a decision to increase your income that is senior to reducing your expenses. My mom thought she was going to reduce our expenses. Sold the house. Okay, that's less of a burden. You can't go up by going down.
Rule number 7 is use AI.
How do you see AI impacting the sales career for an individual?
Hey, good, man. Let it give you some ideas. Let AI let you cheat the pitch. If you're calling on somebody in the furniture business, fucking go to AI and say, hey, what are CEOs most worried about? Write a short article about what CEOs are most worried about with furniture. I don't know anything about furniture. I can't know everything about everything, but just give me a couple things to talk about so I have some confidence going in. You said, hey, what does a 20-year-old need? Confidence. AI cannot give you guys. AI cannot be your confidence builder. Okay, it could give you a little juice, but sooner or later you got to learn your own pitch, stand on your own feet, make your own presentation. AI is not going to do that. If it does for you, good. If you can figure out how to do that and produce another $10 million a month for me, come over to my place. I'll give you 10% of it. You'll make $12 million next year. Let's roll.
Rule number 8 is make sacrifices.
I want to start my own business.
Yeah, so what do you want to do? I mean, you got to tell me what is it you want to do?
I want to have $1 billion empire. Okay,
so who's done that? Who do you know you want, that person did it? Because it had to be done once, right?
You.
Okay, so how did I do it though? I've had jobs I never wanted. I would get really, really good at that to the point where people are like, man, what are you doing? What are you on? Why do you act so good? People should start trying to hire you guys. If you're trying to make a move out, rather than moving to another company, I don't know anything about your company or whether it's a good company or there's bonuses, opportunities, I would look for a company or a vehicle. I call companies vehicle, where the owner of the company was looking for great people and figure out how you can deliver greatness to them, and they want to reward you for that. So I would not, for everybody that's listening right now that might be in her situation, I would not go out and try to start my own deal right now. I would go out and find somebody that's got a deal started. If you watch me an Undercover Billionaire, I didn't go try to start my own company. I found another guy that already had money, that already had credit facilities. He was already in play. He was a good guy. And then I basically went in to make his company better. And I asked for a piece of the action. Because you can't get in my room in New York. So you're gonna have to leave New York. 7 times, what is your first name again? Is this Samantha?
Samantha, yes.
7 times I have moved seeking opportunities. I left Lake Charles, I left Houston, I left San Diego, I left Los Angeles, and I made 2 other moves in order to get where I'm at today. I might make another move. So physically move my location in order to get what I wanted. And for everybody here, look, if you want to go to the next place, there's one thing you will always have to do. Okay, you want to write this down. If you want to get to the next place, you want to go from 1 million to 10 million, 0 to 1 million, wherever you want to go, there will be one thing that I've always had to do. If I want to improve my life, number 1, you will always be required to give something up.
Rule number 9 is don't solve people's problems.
I don't solve people's problems. I don't want to solve their problems.
You don't borrow money.
I create an opportunity. I don't lend them money. I create an opportunity. Because look, if I lend a guy money that's got money problems, we had a guy looking at coming to work for us, and he made a suggestion that he needed X dollars for the job, and then he wanted X dollars lent to him in advance. And I'm like, Jared, you should go back to him and say that you're not going to even present that to me, because it would indicate that he's got money problems, and at this point in his life, he shouldn't have those. And you probably don't want to represent yourself in that fashion. So Jared went back to him and said, that's a really bad idea to even tell Grant you want that. And the guy's like, yeah, you're probably right. Don't do that. So we don't want to solve people's problems. We want to find the right people. We recruit a lot of people.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is do hard things.
The truth is, I have the companies that I have today because I was willing to get hard. I was willing to get hard, okay? I'm willing to literally risk relationships to do the right thing. People say, man, the right thing is never the hard thing to do. That's not true. The right thing is almost always the hard thing to do. The right thing is almost always the hardest thing to do. Yesterday, I had to call this dude. Hey, man, look, I love you like a brother, dude. I know you want this deal. I know you need this deal. I know this deal, you guys and your team worked hard on it. I know you're relying on this deal. I know this deal literally helps your family. You're not getting the deal. It was hard, dude. It was hard. But the hard thing, if I did the deal, I'd feel bad about myself. I would have known that I did the wrong thing for my investors. I got all these investors depending on Grant to make the right decision, do the right thing, negotiate the best deal. I got all these investors depending on me, and then I got my buddy over here that wants the deal. Okay, he's got kids too, man. He's got family to feed and everything. And by the way, I agreed to do the deal with him. Listen to this. I agreed to do the deal with him. I am now being torn apart between my social, my moral agreement. I agreed to do the deal and this moral other obligation to these people. When I got all the data together, I'm like, my friend's deal is not as good as this other guy. Did I really like to get rid of? I'd really like to not do anything else with him. I'm not getting what I want from this other guy, but the deal is better. This is where you got to make the hard decision. Everybody wants to be the boss, baby. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to be the boss. Nobody wants to make the hard decision, which is typically the right thing to do. And it stirs everybody up. But you told me. I know I did, man. And I told all these people, and I told myself, and I told my dreams, bro, you're not getting a deal. Sorry. And the faster you do the hard thing, the better off it is, the stronger you're going to get. And the more the people around you are going to start doing the right thing.
I want to share 3 things with you that I truly believe in this manifestation thing. Now, I'm not that voodoo law of attraction guy, but I can tell you, images, pictures, locking in on something, looking at other possibilities, getting examples of other people doing things is so valuable. I mean, it's our first way to learn is to mimic, is to see as babies, we see our parents playing with their phones. Guess what? We want to pick up the phone and play with the phone. We see our parents typing on a computer. The kids want to do what? They want to come type on your computer. They don't even know how to use it yet. It's mimicking. It's basically taking something else somebody has done. Boom, boat. I want boat. Okay? It's the way we learn to cook. You watch your mom cook eggs or fry bacon or make oatmeal, and she's got her own recipe. Guess what? That's the recipe you use. So we end up with all these little twerks and weird habits. Back in the 50s, all our parents smoked. So what happened when the kids grew up? They picked up smoking and alcohol, etc. So the first thing to do is on the manifestation thing is you got to have some pictures, right? If you don't have those pictures, you have poverty around you, you have struggle, you have, like I grew up in struggle. I didn't grow up in poverty, I grew up in a struggle. Even though we had enough, okay, it was always this idea that there wasn't enough. Even when there was enough, it was crazy. Even when we had enough, dude, it was always this idea that we didn't have enough. And I keep moving around on this because I want you guys to see these views. They're just ridiculous. Beautiful little town of Positano that is filled with magic. Okay, and for those of you who've never traveled here or been over this part of the world, man, come over here, figure out, literally sit down. This is one of the things I do. First, I take a lock in on a picture, bang, yacht. Second thing I'm gonna do is try to get as close to that thing on the manifestation thing. Not the law of attraction, but the law of action, okay? First I see it, then I'm gonna close the distance. Now, it took me 20 years to get on this beast, okay? But what I can do in between then, and I hope it doesn't take you 20 years, is I've started collecting pictures and images, okay, until I could actually put my feet on them. get as close as you can between you and the target. So if it's a boat, a plane, a business ownership, an RV, a car, whatever it is, okay, what you want to do is take pictures of it, collect images of it, okay, maybe reinforce those by looking at them often, thinking about them, just playing with it. Don't even worry about how to get it, what it's going to take to get it. And the second thing is to start closing the distance between you and that image. Could be pictures, could be images, could be research. It could be you going to the car dealership and actually sitting in the car, or, you know, getting an appointment to go see the house. I remember, this is insane to think this, but I remember when I did not think that I could get somebody to show me a house. I remember when I was like, Lena and I were in LA. I wanted to see this house that was for sale. And I was concerned that they wouldn't think enough of me to even let me see the house. So if you guys have ever struggled with all this limited thinking, okay, but later I bought the house. I was literally bought the house, ended up making, on that house, I made like $12 million or something. And I did not think when I went into the house that I was going to be able to even see the house. So if you suffer from a self-esteem issue, or sense of self, or I was telling my daughter the other day, I said, man, I've had self-esteem issues my whole life. Not thinking I was good enough, not thinking I could get there. I'm still doing it today. You know, I started thinking about, last time I was here 20 years ago, one day I'm going to be on a boat here in Positano. Now I'm thinking, one day I'm going to be here on my own boat. What do you want to be on, okay? So number one, okay, take a picture of it. 2, close the distance. And 3, at some point, you're going to have to start doing the math. And the math for me is this. What would it take to buy this? What is the resources, the beans, the coins, the dollars, the energy, the output, the number of people I need to make contact with? And if I can't figure that out, just figure this simple math out. How did he do it? How did he do it? How did he do it? What business are they in? What did they do to do this? How did they get it? And maybe it's just a charter, okay? So nothing wrong with that, okay? Hope you guys do well. Hope you figure out some things that really get rich in your mind about your manifestations, about what you want, what your purpose is, what's driving you to fuel you so you can, and you and your family can have a great life. If you ever get to Positano, okay, let me know.
What's your advice to brokers headed into this season, right? Because most brokers I know have had an epic run the last 2 or 3 years. Epic run, made an insane amount of money, right?
They don't even know how to dial.
Right, exactly. They forgot how to, the fundamentals, right? They forgot. They stopped doing it because it was so easy. They got a listing and had 20 offers. So in this current season we're going into, brokers are down 70, 80%. They're forecasting being down 70, 80% in sales volumes. What's the advice for some of the top, for the brokers out there?
You need to go back and really, renew those relationships that maybe you've ignored a little bit. I know what we're doing, brokers are very, very valuable to us.
Insane, yeah.
Never paid too much for a broker. They've never earned too much money on a deal. Brokers out there, you got to find out who's buying. I'm on the top, I'm on the list. Now, the problem with the list today is the other guys on the list are institutions. So you're going to have to go in the list now and find the individuals, because the individuals are going to reign power for the next 18 months. I got 2 meetings this week from the top 5 groups to go look at their portfolio to purchase. I could not get that meeting a year ago. So I would tell brokers, you guys need to arrange that meeting for me. Individuals, entrepreneurial, people with a bunch of powder. I'm sitting on 350 cash right now, 350 big ones, okay?
M's.
And I'm raising money every day. And I don't mind moving into this cycle. I was built for this cycle. You got to find more guys like me that did not depend on sovereign funds, hedge funds, and institutions for their dough. Big shout out to all the haters and the criticizers, the rumor mongers, the gossipers, the people out there that you hear on the Clubhouse or Instagram or Facebook, hating on people, criticizing people, making people wrong, bullying them. Just remember this. When you hear that, when you hear somebody hating on somebody else,
In my 63 years of being on this planet, I have never in my life had somebody hate on me, and I've had a lot of people hate on me, criticize me, try to shame me, pick out all my damn character defects. Look at all the iron in here, okay? They got something really special back here, though. I have never, ever had somebody hate on my game that accomplished more than I have. Not one damn time in my life. Elon, those guys over at the top of the food chain, they're not talking about me. They're not threatened by me. Now, I've had some people unable to accomplish what I've accomplished spend all their damn time talking shit about me. You know, the crazy thing is, when you're talking shit about somebody that's above you, that's accomplished more than you, try throwing shit up at people above you. It's always gonna fall in your face. Everybody listening to it saying, okay, yeah, oh, that's funny, that's funny, that's funny. And then they're gonna be like, why is he talking so much shit about this guy? You can't it's gonna fall all over your face, your forehead, your reputation. So look, for all of you out there, just remember when you're hearing somebody hate on somebody else, that person, I guarantee you, you'll never find there to be an exception to this rule. The person they're hating on has accomplished more than they have. And the person that's doing the hating has accomplished not nearly as much. It's just a damn fact, man. Look, envy, really envy is the core, the root of hate. Envy, jealousy, insecurities, scarcity, trying to tear somebody else down to build themselves up, and it never works. You just can't do that. You can't get up tearing other people down. All you end up is down. It's like the old crab syndrome in a bucket. They just pulling each other down trying to get up, and they just keep pulling each other down. So remember, when you hear somebody hating on whatever, a person, a company, religion, family, fun, a movement, when you are being bullied or somebody's attempting to bully you, tear you down, ruin your reputation, you are talking to somebody that is filled with jealousy and envy and insecurities and scarcity complexes and narcissism. And when they're hating, they're not creating. And when they're not creating, they cannot do better in life. It's impossible. It's like a disease from the inside. So just remember that when you're hearing that, you might want to separate yourself from those that are doing that. You definitely don't want to be that, because those that do that don't do much else.
Figure out the problems you're having, which needs to be another list right here. Your story comes from your problems. Okay, so look, let's just take this. Who am I? Oh, I'm Grant Cardone. Okay, that's my name. Well, you can only... Okay, Grant Cardone, okay? Now, later, what happened, because I started telling my story enough, I became somebody other than Grant Cardone, okay? Over the last 12 years. It's only been 12 years since I started on the multimedia. Did I say the multimedia? See? Okay. That I became Mr. 10X. And that I became Uncle G. And that I became Master G. These are nicknames that people gave me, okay? These are stories that you get to tell. How did I become Uncle G? Because one day I told a story about how I was 15 and 16 and 17 years old, and I wanted an uncle to help me, and they never came. And that I told my mom, one day I'm going to be an uncle to others. I'm going to be the uncle to others that my uncle wasn't to me. And somebody started calling me Uncle G, right? See, again, it comes out of stories. Who are you? Who are you? Okay? I'm going to give you this assignment to sit down and start looking at who are you? Oh, I'm a college grad. I graduated from college. Okay, who else? Oh, I'm a father. So what I want you to do is everything. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Okay, this list is going to get real big. I'm a business owner. Anything to do with business owner. Oh, I survived 2008. Huge part of my story, by the way. I resolved 2008 with no bankruptcy. All my friends went bankrupt. That's part of my story. This is going to be the content. Oh, I'm a real estate investor.
Okay, now I'm a cat daddy, which, by the way, I'm not proud of. I'd much rather be Tiger King, okay? So I'm a real estate investor, all right? Oh, I have $1.8 billion worth of real estate. A lot of you out there, you're like, oh, he's always bragging. Look, if you're not telling your story, if you're not bragging about your story, you're not telling your story. Jay-Z is going to tell people until people finally say it about him that he's the Jay-Z. Okay, one day you're going to be able to walk in a room and you will not have to introduce yourself. The whole room will get sucked out. The energy in the room will get sucked out because everybody will do this. Oh, he's here. Look who's here. That's what this is about. It's about marketing yourself until the world knows you to the point you don't have to introduce yourself. Here we are, 2023. A home is $400,000. It's gone up 15 times, and interest rates doubled in the last couple of years. So the same, interest rates were 18% back then. It was still a lower payment than on $25,000 than it would be today. And a lot of people are like, I don't want to own a home today. It's not a great investment. But there's going to be so many opportunities here. Real estate, there's a couple of vectors that are going to offer phenomenal opportunities. You mentioned some of the stocks. The most efficient stocks companies in the world, the Apples, the Facebooks, I don't know about the Netflix because they're going to get pounded here, but
yeah, it's tough.
Coca-Cola's, the McDonald's, these are companies that deliver real products and maybe don't even have to go outside the country to get them, like Dunkin' Donuts. There's no supply issues there. They cook their donuts in the morning and brew their coffee and sell it and make a margin. Real estate is going to be tremendous opportunities. Single family homes and commercial real estate like I buy, tremendous, phenomenal decades of opportunities. Like literally, I'll probably buy more real estate this year than I bought in the previous decade. And I bought a lot of real estate. And then small businesses. There's 32 million small businesses that I mentioned earlier. About 18 million of them break even or lose money. Those people that own those businesses are tired. They went through COVID. Now they're going through inflation. They're exhausted. They're over 50 years old. Some of them over 70 years old. And they're like, I'm tapping out. I think it'll be easier this year to buy 10 businesses with no money. For your audience that doesn't have any money, you could literally buy 10 businesses today cheaper than you could start your own business. And probably scale 10 times faster than grow your own business 10%.
If you want to get rich, if you're unselfish enough to secure your money for yourself, your family, your community, and your household, that's what I'm talking about, rich. Rich is I can give to my church and still give to my family. Rich is I can go on a big trip and still give to my church. Rich is I can take care of my family and my church and still take care of strangers and invest in projects maybe that I love. Rich is, hey, I got prosperity and affluence, okay? $1 million divided by 25 years is $4,000 a year. Is that right? 40,000, I'm sorry, I missed a zero. Doesn't really matter, it's still no money. You can't live on $40,000 a year. You can't send your kids to decent schools. You can't take care of your mom that's sick. You can't take care of one car wreck, much less a car wreck and a little bit of cancer. You can't do anything, and you can't give anything to your charity. Why? Because you didn't plan correctly. If you want to become a millionaire, number one, you have to decide to become a multi-millionaire. You're going to miscalculate the zeros, and this is what the 10X rule was. The 10X rule was a multiplier. You must multiply in order to add. You have to learn how to do something a lot of times to ever get good at it.
When I woke up, what I did was I grabbed a legal pad next to me and I just simply start writing in present tense or in past tense, but not in future. Things that I'd like to accomplish in my lifetime. These are really short notes like, hey, let's say the yacht's on my mind. I'd like to own a yacht one day, right? Or maybe you don't want to own one, you want to charter one, whatever. I would just write down, hey, 300-foot yacht. I don't really have to get specific at that time about whether I'm going to own it or charter it. It doesn't really matter to me. You could be specific. But I'm just trying to bring my mind to some attention. This is an almost effortless process, except for finding the notepad and writing. This does not require thinking or how to or mechanics, okay? So like I might write, okay, I want 100,000 units. We're 12,000 units right now in our real estate portfolio. And I'm like, I want to get to 100,000 units. So I'm just going to write 100,000 plus units. What else did I write this morning? See, every day I'm doing it 3 times a day. I'm doing it morning and I'm doing it at night. And the third time I'll do it is anytime I have a fail, an upset, a setback, some rejection, I didn't get what I wanted, then I will write down and go, right, hey man, yacht, I want a home in Italy. I remember I used to write that I wanted a house. If you go back and read the 10X rule, you'll hear one of my notes in there was to own a home in Florence, Italy. Showed up for a while, okay? Motorcycle showed up for a while. Helicopter showed up for a while. But some of this just comes and goes in the morning when I'm writing down my goals. It's almost a form of active meditation, okay? Where I'm just like literally scanning my mind for ideas of things I'd like to accomplish in my lifetime. Whatever pops up, I write it down. This whole exercise maybe lasts 3 minutes, 4 minutes long. I leave the writings, scribblings, if you will, in the notepad. More often than not, when the notepad is full, I just simply throw it in the trash. So it's not like I'm doing anything that requires any effort here. Okay, it's quick, it's fast, it's easy. I want a great marriage. Okay, so boom, I want great health. I don't know what that looks like exactly. What does great health look like to everybody? I don't know. As you grow older, it means different things. And then it opens me up. Oh, I want my 10X health system. I want to have 1 million clients on 10X health system. On Cardone Capital, 100,000 units, and I want what do I have? 14,000 investors right now. I want 140,000 investors. Cardone Equity Group, okay? I want to raise $1 billion for Cardone Equity Group and democratize alternative investments for everyday people so they're not just freaking taken advantage of or monopolized by Goldman and JP and the Carlyles and the KKRs of the world, all these big giant funds. See what's happening? I'm doing it right now, right? I'm just not writing it down. Now, the significance of writing it down is it kind of just gets the juices flowing. And I personally find it to be better when I'm doing it with ink than if I'm doing it on a notepad on my phone.
Since I was 13 years old, I have been trying to find my way. I've been trying to find my way to this word right here, to my dreams. How do I make my dreams a reality? So like every day, like I know this, what I pay attention to, I end up getting. You guys ever done that before where you're like, you're riding a bike or something and you're like, I don't want to hit that hole, I don't want to hit that crack, I don't want to hit that crack, I don't want to hit that crack, I don't want to hit that rock, I don't want to hit that thing, I don't want to hit that thing, and next thing what? Bang! You fall down, you hit the thing. One thing I do every day, and I'm telling you a little trick in life, if you pay attention to something enough, whether it's good or bad, it's gonna become a reality. So when I wake up in the morning, what I do every day, rather than just ending up with some life, whatever the leftovers are, whatever you get, I don't wanna just like get what I get. I wanna get what I want. How many of you wanna get what you want? Okay, so when I was 10 years old, I lost my dad. My dad passed away when I was 10 years old, and it left me with my mom, my twin brother, my older brother, and 2 sisters. I was the youngest of 5. There was 7 of us in a small house. And the other thing that was in our house was one other thing. Maybe you guys know what this thing is. I tell you what, I'll pay $100 if you know the other person that lived at our house. It's a 4-letter word. Boom! That's right. Give this man the $100. Give this man the $100 right here. Okay, the school that pays every day. So check it out. So fear, have you guys ever experienced fear in your house? Man, I was in fear every day. And the fear made me sad because I could see my mom was scared. I didn't know enough to be scared. I could just tell from my mom. My mom was scared because my dad had passed and she didn't know how she was gonna take care of the family. And at that moment, one of my dreams or goals, I really like the word goals better than dreams. One of my goals became, hey, I don't want to live in fear every day. I don't want to have fear every day. I want to have freedom from fear.
What did you do to get
from 1 billion to 4.2 in 3 years.
I bought more real estate. I mean, that's how you do it. You got to buy the real estate, right? You got to either raise money or you got to have money, and both of those are possible. So you guys out there are saying, I don't have any money. Oh my God, if I had money, I'd have done that too. No, you got to either get money, earn money, or you got to raise money. One of the two. And it's easier to raise money if you've already worked and earned money, because then people can trust you that you know how to trade time for money at a job. So, like people trust me. They trust my work ethic. People may not like my energy, or they might not like the way I say something, but nobody's going to say I don't work. They're going to say, here's guy's got track record, 35 years showing up, doing what he said he was going to do. Yeah, he's cocky and he's this and he's that and he says whatever he wants. But look, you probably would too. Yeah, but I do what I say I'm going to do too. And then I stack real estate assets. We picked up $3 billion, almost $3 billion during the pandemic, and then took a hiatus. We haven't bought anything in the last year, and I'm about to blow this portfolio up. So next time I'm on this podcast, I'll be at 10 billion. This cycle right now that we're in is going to be the biggest real estate opportunity of my lifetime. And everybody is listening. Like it's time to be ready all the time, not get ready, because it's happening right now.
What are like some daily habits, daily routines that you have that you've been able to use that have compounded over the last 15, 20 years?
Well, the most important one is waking up, man, making sure you wake up, ideally wake up when you say you're going to wake up, because that's where it all goes downhill from there. Like, make a decision when you're going to go to sleep at night and when you're going to wake up. I was talking to Tom Brady about this. He controls what time he goes to bed, right? So that's when he controls when he puts himself down. And if I'd have known that when I was a kid, 17, 18 years old, I wouldn't have gotten 90% of the trouble that I got in. I would have never gotten in trouble, because everything bad happened to me after 9 o'clock.
Right.
Like, almost nothing bad happened to me during the day.
Right.
So one, pick a time to go to sleep, boom, go down, get a good night of rest.
Yep. Rest
is really important. I was watching something Elon was talking about the other day about it. He's got to get 6 hours less than that. He's getting less done during the day. And I know a lot of people out there are pitching 4 a.m. in the mornings. And that might be good for training, physical training, or hunting, or some other stuff that you're doing. But in business, man, I need to be clear. I need rest. As you age, you're going to need more rest. I had a shoulder injury recently, so I'm actually trying to get more sleep right now, not less, to recuperate from that. Sometimes it takes longer as you get older. So one, I wake up in the morning, dude, rested. Two, the second thing I want to do is I want to go get a workout in. Third thing, I want to get my recovery time in. Like I had to add some things as things change, as life changes, you add stuff. So then I come to the office and, somebody tells me what to do for the rest of the day. There's one thing that I do in there that's a ritual that every morning I get I think I got it. Yeah. I've looked at this thing so often now that every morning I get a report of where our cash accounts are, every cash account that we have.
KPIs.
Say again?
You got those KPIs, the key performance indicators coming in, the cash accounts. Yeah. That's more just more than a KPI. It's in this case, it's I want to see where the dough is. And there might be. I've been doing this for a long time now. I remember doing this when the account was zero. And my goal, by the way, is to get the account to zero. So I'm going to look at my cash accounts, and I'm going to look at assets that I'm moving cash into. Because what I'm trying to do is accumulate assets, not cash. If you have a spending problem, you know it. So what I want to share with you here is how to never have a spending problem, okay? Because if you earn $400 million boxing and you spend $401 million, you're not going to have any money, okay? And that has happened to many, many ball players, fighters, actors, you name it. They spend more money than they earn. So first thing we want to fix here is I need to make more money, okay? If you make enough money, spending will never be your problem. But once you start making money and you start doing stupid stuff, which is what people do, by the way, that's how you get inflation. Inflation is created by the government printing money
You take the $1,400 check and you go spend it on a pair of Gucci's that you can't write off, that you couldn't afford, that you couldn't buy two of. You put it on credit, you bought stupid stuff. Inflation is created when people get money and go buy stupid stuff with it that they didn't need.
What would you say your superpower is? I mean, you've done all kinds of things and you've got an incredible track record, but what would you say like your superpower is right now as you sit here today?
Man, I don't know. I think everybody's got a lot of superpowers. So
but what's the dominant one that you would say, Grant Cardone, when you look in the mirror, it's like, this is what I do. This is my special sauce.
One is persistence, man. I just don't quit. Like if I tell you guys I'm going to buy 100,000 units and I am going to own 100, I'll be one of the largest apartment owners in the world. I have never, ever stopped. The only way to stop me is to kill me. And then I would even question whether I come back or not. Boom, you know? So persistence, I have built my persistence muscle up. It was all that cold calling I was doing when I was 30. The second one is I'm extremely disciplined with money. And it doesn't matter whose it is. It could be your money, your brother's money. It doesn't matter whose it is. I watch money. I never lose it. I respect it. And I try to multiply it. And on the same thing on buying property. Like, I don't use your money any different than I would my own money. I'm not reckless because I'm self-made. Like I came up from the mud, and you know I've never had a silver spoon. I've never had anybody give me anything. The fact that I've never taken money for an institution and got the size that I am is really unheard of. I've been here 5 years. You guys don't know me. You know why? I didn't let you know me. If you don't know me, you won't flow me, right or wrong. So my job is to make sure I'm known. Today, it's easier than it's ever been before. That's why I'm a guy that's using social media to get known. It takes courage to stand up here. It takes courage to get known. It takes courage to build a brand. It takes courage to build a YouTube channel and an Instagram and a Facebook. I'm 60 years old. I don't know anything about Instagram, except that I got 900,000 people that follow me every day like a religion. You ask them what church they go to. I go to the church of Grant Cardone. Okay, what's my name? My name is Grant Cardone. What's my name? My name, because you didn't know, this is for the people that didn't know. My name is Grant Cardone. Let me hear it. Okay, my first job, your first job is to make sure people know your damn name. Because if they don't know your name, I don't care what you sell. You're a nurse, you work at McDonald's, you're a bellman, I don't care what you do. You're parking cars. It don't matter if I don't know who you are. It doesn't matter how good you are, how clean you are. Okay, it doesn't matter. Your values don't matter. Nothing matters if I don't know you.
So you don't believe in this concept about balancing business and life?
I've never. All the people that talk about it don't have the very thing they're trying to get.
Probably, yeah.
So
you're constantly balancing something. You're under stress. Then I think so.
Totally. So if you just like what I do is I just push into everything, right? I push into everything as hard as I can, and again the goal is life. It's not the business. It's my life, right? Business is part of my life. So having fun is part of my life. My spiritual part is part of my life. So I'm going to push everything into that thing that I'm working on. The 10X thing was about, I'm pushing, like if it's in the business, I'm going to push as hard as I can on that. And my kids are with me. My wife's with me. They're with me. So they're having the experience of this push. Then we turn around, we push over here. Oh, we want to help charities out. And we push 10X into that direction. Well, it just blows out the edges of the life, right? So that we get to have a bigger experience as opposed to, okay, now I need to put this here and manage this part right now. Which means when I'm doing this, when I'm finding time just for my kids, I'm abandoning all these other things and my life gets smaller. All the commitment stuff, oh, you got to be committed. Oh, you got to be committed. I was talking to my trainer about this. You got to be committed. Yeah, but the truth is, there's only one thing you really have to do. Because the commitment's not going to come until you do this other thing. The thing that has got me through everything, got me to where I'm at today. The thing that changed everything was me just taking action. Just doing it. I mean, I know that's that old Nike saying, right? Just do it. Man, even if you don't feel like it, even if you're not committed, even if you're not getting any gains, even if you're not winning, I talk about this in the rules of success. Show up. Just take action. Make the call. Knock on the door. Send out the email. Bug people if you have to, until you get good and it doesn't sound like bugging anymore. It's just the professional knows how to bug people without bugging them. So look, just take action, even if you don't feel like it. Money is so simple, okay? Anybody got a $100 bill? Give me $100, sir. Give this man a big hand for having some money. Okay? I just had an idea. I said, I wonder, I ain't got any money on me. I had an idea. Now I'm gonna teach you a lesson right now that'll make you rich if you freaking get it, okay? Number one, I want some money. Number two, I need to ask somebody if they got 100. Number three, I need to get the money. It's no more complicated than that. I didn't go manufacture something. I didn't build a business plan. I didn't create a product. I had an idea. The length of time between your idea and the money will determine whether or not you're successful. The length of time between the idea and the monetization, big word for get the money. The distance between the idea and the money will determine whether you take off or not. The company is only as great as the driver is. Number two, does the dude have a bunch of fuel? You know what fuel is? See this plane right here, this plane's no good. No matter how good this plane is, if there's no fuel, plane no good. Plane don't go anyplace without fuel. Neither does a company. I know guys that have great companies, but they're out of fuel. They're just not, they're not gonna use it. They're drivers, they were drivers, they used to drive, they got fuel in their tank, but three, they won't use it. They're not gonna press because somebody's on their neck right now saying, conserve your money. A lot of rich people, this happens to a lot of rich people. People get rich, they go from the middle to rich and never get wealthy. With the wealthy, it becomes impossible to get wealthy like the Rockefellers or the people that we're talking about, the DuPonts, the Morgans, the Vanderbilts, because the Cardones, because they get satisfied with with rich, and they never get wealthy. Wealthy is generational money. Grant died. I guarantee you my grandkids will be talking about me. That's a bad right there, dude. There's it. That dude, goddamn. Okay? And then number four, dude, you got to have a future. Like the future I'm interested in. And by the way, I'm going to go back to the New World Order, boys and girls. The Illuminati, the Masons, whoever they are. These people think about futures. You guys don't. They're thinking about generations. That's what the Japanese do. The Japanese, they think about future generations. They're not thinking about right now. How about the Muslims? They're thinking about lifetimes from now. How many heard this before? People buy from people they like. No. People buy from people they know. Okay, if you're taking notes. People buy from people they know, period. They don't buy the best product. They don't buy the cheapest product. People buy from people they know. Because if you don't know me, trust will not happen. That's why I rolled up on Damon and said, hey, how about I put you in the plane and I fly you to Vegas. Same dude's telling me I was stupid buying a plane. I said, dude, come on. What's wrong with you, man? You spent too much time on a street corner selling hats. That bird is what got me in front of you, DJ, little man. Oh, yeah, you're right, man. And then he says, no, I'd have gone with you anyway. You would not have got on JetBlue with me. Don't lie, man. I know you're the people's shark, but don't lie. What am I call you up? Hey, Damon, I bought a ticket for us on Southwest. You want to fly to Vegas with me and we can eat peanuts? He wouldn't have gone with me. How many agree he would not have gone with me? Come on, man. He might be the people's shark, but he ain't stupid. He's like, hey, I ain't doing that. Right or wrong? He said to me, what's the fuel in that jet cost? I said, bro, you're thinking small, bro. He's like, what do you mean? What's it cost? What's the damn fuel in a jet cost? I said, I don't know. Why don't you know? I said, because the jet ain't no good without fuel. Well, I think the idea of knocking on doors, talking to people.
Yeah.
Like these are the skills that are not taught in the schools. This is why it goes back to your question about the school system failing. The required skills, I need a client. Like if you simplify, the thing that people like about what we do is we simplify the business process. I need to make a contact. How can I do that? Like how can I just simply, if I'm a cameraman and I want more work, how do I knock on a door or make a phone call, get in front of someone?
So hard.
Impress them. If I go to Harrods right here, I'll see how many people don't have that skill. I walk in, I don't even get a hello. I don't get hello. How you doing? Great to have you here. Appreciate you being here. It's so nice for you to drop by. Thanks for coming into Cartier. I mean, it's a $3 million ring over there. I went in there the other day. I can't even get anybody to show me anything. I'm like, how much is the ring? They kind of look at me, right? Can you show it to me? Do you mind showing it to me? He showed it to me, told me how much it was, and I leave. He didn't show me a second ring, a third ring, a fourth ring. So those are the skills that people need, right? How do I interact with people?
Communicate.
Yeah. The middle class adds and subtracts. And clearly the middle class never figured out how to do what the super wealthy do. Like it's almost like hundreds of millions of people in America stopped math at adding and subtracting and never got to the multiplication part. Because the super wealthy are multipliers. Oh, by the way, time, energy, and money. They multiply all of them. They're like, look, I got time. I want to make more time. How do I do that? You learned how to add. You learned how to subtract. But that's not what the Rothschilds did. That's not what the Rockefellers did. That's not what the DuPonts did. They multipliers. They're multipliers. This, by the way, 10X is a gateway drug to the Illuminati. I'm telling you right now, the 10X was basically a secret kind of passage for all of you that want the New World Order, for all of you interested in the invisible rich, for the Masons out there that you're like, I know there's 13 families. I know there's a deal with the Federal Reserve. I know there's world monarchs. Don't you know that 10X, the 10X rule? Don't you guys know the 10X rule is actually the front door to this secret society, to the invisible rich?
How did you get into the training business?
I had a passion for helping people when I was a young salesperson. And I found that when I had struggles, when I had droughts, cold spells where I wasn't selling anything, if I would help somebody else, it always broke my drought. So for some reason, it was easier when I wasn't doing well to help somebody else, to help someone else. And it seemed to break I don't know why I worked like that, but maybe it's one of those golden rules about help people, The more you give, the more you get. And so it always broke this cold moment I had when I would reach out and help another person.
I was 28 years old, 3 years sober, no drugs in my body for 3 years. I'm selling cars, I'm moving Toyotas, and I'm getting good at it too. Like you come in and say, look, I got bad credit. And I'm not buying today. I'm like, oh, that's 2 cars. I'm gonna penalize you for saying that bull. Okay. You got bad credit? That's perfect. At least you got some credit. See, I ain't positive. I'm there to get something. So Captain Ryan says to me, he's like, you're the most positive person I know. I said, dude, I'm not positive at all. I'm 10X. I get results, okay? I want to get the deal done. I want to make my kids proud of me. My kids aren't going to remember whether I was positive or not. They're going to remember whether daddy delivered the goodies or not. You understand? When you go to Whole Foods and they say, hey, that'll be $427 for 3 bags. And you're like, I got a good attitude. They'd be like, you need to get some 10X. You need to get some 10X and some money to go with your freaking attitude.
All the greats on this planet were addicted to something. Jesus was addicted. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Right or wrong? Okay? You got to get addicted to something. Good. All addictions are not created equal. Okay? I'm addicted to my wife. I'm addicted to my kids. I'm addicted to my purpose. I'm addicted to helping out. I'm addicted to making a difference. I'm addicted to doing whatever it takes to show and be an example of the blessings that I have. One of the things that we do, a little trick we do at our company, is we always have something on our calendar to look forward to, okay? If you want to stay motivated, today's what, Sunday? I always have something out here, out here, out here, out here, and out here to look forward to. Little short runways that keep me excited, okay? I'm going to Turks and Caicos to shoot a real estate program when I leave here. Yesterday, I walked out of here, I'm freaking exhausted. I'm like, boy, I can't wait to get to Turks and Caicos. See, it re-energizes me. Right? Now, when I'm done with that, I need something else to look forward to here. I got a whole bunch of stuff that's going to happen here at the end of the month that is going to keep me jacked up when I'm at Turks and Caicos, because the truth is, Turks and Caicos could get a little boring for a guy like me. How many of you have trouble going on vacations? You have trouble unwinding, okay? You don't even want to go. You're like, I can't even enjoy this. So I need little tricks. I have little tricks. Everybody should do this in their life, okay? You need things to look forward to.
The world you live in today, the CNBC and the CNN and the Netflix. Be happy. Just be happy. Be satisfied with what you have. There's no push, man. There's nobody pushing you. How about this? You can do more. How many of you can do more? Oh my God, if that's all you got, how many of you can do more? Well, goddamn, if you know you can do more, if you know you can do more, then you have to do more. If you know you can help, if you know you can make a difference, if you don't, you're gonna have this freaking big hole inside of you. No amount of money can fill this thing up. So fill it up.
For 30 years since I left that treatment center, I've been doing one thing, studying business. I don't need to worry about my neighbor. I don't need to worry about Trump. I don't need to worry about Obama. I don't need to worry about the Democrats. I don't need to worry about anything until I worry about these 36 inches. Man, people are like, hey, do you believe in aliens? Dude, I'm having trouble with this. All I'm trying to do is expand it over to here. Once I do that, maybe I can expand a little bit, but I got to get those 6 feet under control. I don't criticize other people. I'm too busy criticizing me. While I work on my life, I hope other people hate on me and criticize me. I love it. It's fuel, man. I'm like, come on, bring it on.
The number one reason you will fail in this 10X thing, the number one reason businesses fail is the inability to sell products in quantities great enough and at margins high enough. That is the only reason you will fail. You take too long to go from the idea to selling enough products, volume at margins high enough. Do that, learn to do that, and you can make any dream a reality, okay? I want to help the world. This is not taught in schools. There's 8 billion people on this planet, and there's no shortage of information. How many of you heard this before? Knowledge is power. Then why are so many people suffering? Why are so many people suffering? No, they ain't stupid, man. We have more information available to us today than at any time in the history of the world. We got too much information at this point. You got too much information and not enough action.
25 years old, I'm selling automobiles, I'm broke, I'm in debt, $40,000 in debt, spiritually bankrupt, physically bankrupt, hate myself. Only thing I had was an opportunity. The car dealer that I worked for took me back. That was an opportunity. Don't dismiss the opportunity. You can't go any place without an opportunity. No matter how talented you are, no matter how gifted you are, no matter what God has done for you, without an opportunity, you will not move from your garage. Your life cannot improve without an opportunity. It's impossible.
You guys don't like sales because you ain't got any courage. That's why you want to be the vice president of something. That's why you guys want to call it something else, okay? Most of you in the room don't even have sales on your card. You sell real estate for Remax, okay, or Keller, and you don't even have sales on the card. You're in network marketing. You refused. We don't do sales here. What do you do then, okay? What do you do? I mean, I think the company's got a financial statement. You ever read a financial statement? What's the first line on a financial statement? Huh? What's that first line? It's the first line, by the way, okay? I've seen a bunch of income statements in my life. The first ones are like 2 to maybe max 4 inches long. Big companies, big giant companies, okay? I got 5 companies, they run to one financial statement, and the top line, the sales line, you could call it, I think it's called also what, revenue? Could be called gross revenue, okay? You know people are getting confused now. Okay, they start getting away from this word. Some college guy came in and said, we can't call it sales, man. We got to call it something like at least 2 or 3 words. I mean, I went to Harvard. It's not about how much money you make, folks. Can you use money? Can you use it, okay? Look, these top lines right here are about income. If you hate sales, you hate income.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what your age is, okay? I spent from the age of 25 years old to 45 years old, I spent 20 years thinking small, and taking too long. I built 3 little businesses. They were all doing good, man. They were doing good, 3 of them, man, from scratch. First little business, I was a millionaire when I was 33 years old. Punching, shoving, hard work, man. The more money I had, the more scared I was. Because I had just enough money to be scared. As soon as you get $1 million, you're going to go into terror. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, what am I going to do now? Okay, I wasn't scared before. Now I got something to lose. That's why you never want to get your advice from a millionaire. If you're taking notes, never get your advice from a millionaire, ever. Okay, this held me down for 20 years. 20 years it held me down. You're looking at me like, huh? I read The Millionaire Next Door. What did the millionaire next door say? Buy a used truck and don't go to Starbucks. You save $4 a day for the next 38 years, you're going to be in heaven. No, you ain't. You're going to be stupid. It's dumb, man. Okay, if $4 is going to break you on any given day, you're just back to thinking the way you were thinking when you didn't have anything. Buy everything on sale, okay? Everything you're going to buy is going to be on sale. You got to get a deal every time you buy something. Is that what your daddy taught you? Never pay retail for anything. That means nobody will ever pay you retail, folks. When I was 23 years old, I was beaten within inches of my life. I had 76 stitches put in my head and face because I had made 9 years of bad choices. My dad died when I was 10 years old. I think that there's an epidemic in this country where families are missing a father. I know for me, I was a good kid. I grew up in a middle-class family. My mom and my dad were very responsible, hardworking people. I didn't get beat up. There was no alcoholism. There was no drug addiction. I did not get brought up the way Kanye West did. Kanye's got excuses. I didn't have any. And there's a whole bunch of kids in America that don't have any excuses, but they don't have a purpose, they don't have an opportunity, and they don't have anything to do. And that was me. When my dad died, I was 10 years old, and from 10 to 16, when I should have been experiencing grief, you know, and I was angry about it. How many of you had a loss before and you got angry about it? Customer doesn't buy from you, guy doesn't show up, you get angry. Angry is not a response to the situation. And then when somebody sits on anger for long enough, what happens is without a purpose, an individual is going to go awry. No matter how good they are, they're going to go off and do other things. And so by the time I was 16 years old, I had a drug problem, but by the time I was 20 years old, I was using drugs every single day. And by the time I was 23, I was carrying a gun every day, worried I was going to get killed every day, had a college degree, 17 years I spent in school. The more college I got, the less money I had, and the more trouble I ended up in. Okay, 23 years old, I get beat, I'm in a hospital. My mom comes to the hospital, she looks at me and says, but where's my son? Okay, that was me not too long ago. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. And today, Legal Shield has me to speak to you today. Okay. I tell you that to tell you, like, anybody can come back. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, what color you are, what your problems are. Anybody can come back.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome. For 10 more amazing rules from Alex Hormozi, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
When you set a goal, usually it's like, we want to do this thing. Well, you're not actually trying to do the thing. You're hoping that something's going to happen if you do the thing. We like to define both of those variables in the hypothesis. For example, if I wanted to have a sales goal, it might say something like,